Hi, everyone. My name is Ron Rosenstock, and I'm a photographer, and I'm a photo tour leader, and I'm a presenter to many venues throughout New England. And I'd like to give you a preview of my program on Iceland and Greenland. And the full program is about an hour long. This is just a few minutes to give you an idea of some of the places we visit. Greenland is totally an amazing country with all the icebergs. It's quite different from Iceland, actually. Let me just get started with screen sharing. I'm going to show you lots of photographs. So just give me a second to get this organized with screen share. I'm going to share, and I'm going to move this over, open this up. Just a few little things, and we should be in business now. Okay, we're starting off with Hallgrímskirkja Church. Now, this is in the capital city of Iceland, in Reykjavik. This is where we start our photo tours, and I start my program, because this church is one of the largest monuments in all of Reykjavik. In front of the church, you see a statue of Leif Erikson, who discovered America only 400 years before Christopher Columbus did. Well, in my slideshow, I show you lots of photographs of the inside of the church as well. Just a beautiful monument. It's a Lutheran church, as all the churches are in Iceland. Also, as I told you, the name of the church is Hallgrímskirkja. But it's spelled Hallgrímskrka. So that doesn't help you at all, does it? But I've been practicing Hallgrímskirkja. Okay, moving right along. The next image is called the Sun Voyager. And this is down by the bay. And by the way, bay is Vik in Icelandic. And when the Vikings first came to Reykjavik, they called it Reykjavik because that means smoky bay. They saw all these geothermal vents, and it just filled the area with smoke, so they called it Smoky Bay. Well, this Sun Voyager is actually called the Viking ship by most tourists, but the sculptor calls it the Sun Voyager. Stainless steel, beautiful, glistening in the sun right on the bay. Then we head out southeast along the N1, the ring road, to Skogafoss, which is this magnificent waterfall, as you can see. Now, Iceland is like the land of rainbows and waterfalls. And in my slideshow, you're going to see several examples of magnificent falls, one greater than the next. And lots of little churches, little red roof churches that dot the countryside. It's interesting, in Iceland, because it's so sparsely populated, churches were built in beautiful places, places of inspiration, where in New England, you know, a church was built in the center of a town, and the town grew up around the church. Well, quite different in Iceland, where all these churches are just most magnificent places. And this is on a hilltop above the village of Vik. This is another interesting area. There's lots of these geothermal areas in Iceland. And honestly, when you see my slideshow, you'll feel like you went back in time about 1 million years, because Iceland, more so than almost any other country, you know, is still kind of shaping and forming, you know, the way the Earth has been doing for millions and millions of years. This is also a very interesting area, the Black Beach at Vik. It's a black beach because the sand is actually volcanic dust, and it's been ground down to this black sand. And with these, you see the sea stacks in the background. They're ancient lava sea stacks. And then we photograph at a place called Jökulsárlón, and I'll show you many examples of these little ice lagoons that are all around the south coast of Iceland, where icebergs get trapped in a lagoon and just slowly melt until they could be caught into the tidal river that takes them under the road, under the bridge to the ocean side. And this is what you see on the ocean side, what is commonly called Diamond Beach. where these icebergs will flow out to sea, and then the tide brings them in and strands them there when the tide goes out. So it's actually a photographer's paradise on this particular beach. Another place we visit is called Hvitserkur, and that is on the northwest corner of Iceland. And this is a volcanic structure, lava that was formed thousands of years ago and has just been weathered away by the wind and the weather and the tide. And it looks like a bit of a sea monster out in the ocean. And then there's the geysers. This is the famous one. And in fact, geyser is an Icelandic word. And it's different from Yellowstone in that it erupts every 3 to 4 minutes. So this is just a taste of what you're going to see. We visit many glaciers, and this is Svinefellsjökull it's called. And I photographed it for many, many years. And every year that I'm there, I could see the glacier get smaller and smaller, because of global warming. It's something like 200 or 300 yards a year that the glacier shrinks. But it's still very beautiful. And then the puffins. Hard to get a bad photograph of a puffin. In the northeast corner of Iceland, there's a place called Borgarfjörður Eastri, and there's a bird blind built into a cliff. And from there, we're actually in the nesting area, or very close to the nesting area of these magnificent birds with those incredible bills that, actually it's the males that have the most colorful ones, and that attracts the females. Then there's the Icelandic horses. I have many photographs of these horses. They are magnificent. They are so friendly, and they always come over to the fence just to say hello. They're curious. This one we called Raquel for obvious reasons. What a beautiful horse that is. And they're very kid-friendly. What can I say? Look at this particular image. Doesn't get more kid-friendly than that. Then let's skip over to Greenland, which is very, very different. It's the land of these tremendous icebergs, because of global warming now, bigger and bigger chunks of ice are breaking away from the ice pack in the Arctic and floating down both coasts of Greenland. So I'm going to show you many different photographs of the icebergs. It's a little bit like visiting a sculpture garden of ice. I mean, they're all different. Every year I go, it's different because they keep on floating out to sea and melting and new ones taking their place. And on the way, we pass these magnificent waterfalls. And the waterfalls actually, originally started with the glaciers, then worked their way through the central part of Greenland until they, fall into the sea. And that's the boat that we use down the bottom. Occasionally, a huge iceberg will get stranded because the tide goes out and the bottom hits the bottom of the ocean, and it just can't go anyplace. So we could get off on land and photograph these magnificent ice sculptures. And this one was particularly large. Now, it's interesting to note that only 10% of the iceberg is above water and 90% is below water, 90%. And here we have, well, I think I skipped one. Did I? Yes, hold on, there I am. Yeah. This is another beautiful one. I really love this one. And you can see that's a glacial blue color of the frozen ice. And it's just a breathtaking color. And I love the sky in back of it as well. So in my slideshow, you're gonna see quite a few photographs of these different ice sculptures. And here we have the sun about to go down in back of another one. Now, this is the west coast of Greenland in a place called the Ice Fjord, where there's literally hundreds of these magnificent icebergs. Then in the evening, we photographed the Aurora Borealis. And this was in September, about 10 o'clock at night. So it wasn't the middle of the night. And you can see the city of Nuuk, N-U-U-K, that's the capital of Greenland, and that's in the background. And here's another one, looking a little bit more, I just sort of turned my camera to the right a little bit, where you can see some of the outskirts of Nuuk and this magnificent display of northern lights. And I'm going to end my little program with a sunset right in the bay, very close to where my hotel is. And I never get tired of photographing in Iceland and Greenland, and I never get tired of sharing the experience, with you wonderful people. I'm going to stop sharing, and here I am back in business. Well, folks, the woman who sent you this little file, her name is Linda Spragna, and she represents me. And if you'd like me to do a full program, for your institution, just let me know. There's many ways that we can do that during this COVID crisis. Just by sending you the file. If you have a closed TV circuit within your building, it could be done that way. It could be broadcast, different ways. It could be put in a common room from a computer. There's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. So contact Linda Spragna, and she'll help you. Okay, nice to meet you, folks. Hope to see you in person when this crisis is over. Bye-bye.